Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So nice to have you all here today. We have a really great show, and we have a really great show because we have a really great guest joining us today. So I'm really excited, and I'm really excited to show you some of the wigs that we have from the Raquel Welch collection in this live today. So get tuned in, sign up, give you guys a little chance to kind of filter in. We're really very happy to have you join us. 5 looks, 5 very different looks, and hopefully something that's going to appeal to one of you out there. So just remember, we have a giveaway today. You can get any one of the wigs you see here, any style and any color that you like. All that's going to be yours. All you have to do is ask us questions, make some comments, and you'll automatically be entered to win. Okay, so just so you know, the winner will be announced tomorrow, Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be in our stories. So you'll want to stay tuned and you want to see if perhaps you won. So here we are, kids. I have to tell you, it's been a wonderful day today. Why? Because in our offices here in Kansas City, we had the pleasure to work with the wonderful Amanda from Shaquille Hair. Now, I know you guys have seen her. I know you've seen her TikToks. You've seen her Instagram posts. And you know that she is very much a wig wearer and very much committed to bringing you guys the best information, the most information on all the styles that are released, all of the wigs that are out there. And we are very lucky to have her here with us today to review some Raquel Welch wigs. So without any further ado, let me bring on the lovely, charming, and gorgeous Amanda.
Hello.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here, you guys. Hi, everyone.
She's here.
I'm here. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to have finally met you. I've seen you, all over the place, but this is the first time we've actually had a chance to meet in person.
It is. It is. And it's been such a special day that, like he said, this is our first time meeting. Frank is just as lovely in person, if not lovelier.
Oh,
and this has been such a treat for me to come here to hear you wear, try on all these Raquel Welch styles. It's been so much fun.
Yeah, I know. And we're going to have even more fun. The girl has tried on wigs all day today. I'm surprised you're still in the mood. I got to tell you.
You know what? I will never not be in the mood. Wigs are my life.
Well, we appreciate that. And we appreciate everything you do, Amanda, for the wig community, because it's not a normal thing, right? It's like usually something that someone gets into because they find themselves in a certain predicament, so to speak, right? And I think you kind of take the scariness away from that, and you've helped people kind of just embrace who they are and also view wigs from a different standpoint. I mean, you really make it approachable, you make it fun, and you make it seem so normal and commonplace.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the goal, because I was in that predicament that you speak of, years ago, back when I was like 21, is when I got alopecia, lost all my hair, thought I was dying, thought I was the only person in the world going through it. Yeah. And it was hard to find the information I needed, and I didn't really know what to do. So going through what a lot of you guys are likely going through right now, it has given me the ability to give you guys what I think you might need, and just share my perspective and my own journey with alopecia and wig wearing, and just show you guys that it's not as scary as you might think it is. It's actually kind of the best.
Well, you don't have to do your hair every day. That's one thing,
There's so many great things.
And you know what I think is really great too is that what other people kind of get from it too is that you can also embrace your own natural bio hair, and you can leave the house with your own bio hair too. A wig is an option. A wig is an alternative. It is also somewhat of a fashion statement. So it can be an accessory as well. Yeah. So, and I think you really do a great job of letting people know that and feel comfortable in that. And I think that's half the battle right there, Yeah.
Well, as soon as we are able to find that acceptance that, okay, I guess we are going to do this wig thing. As soon as you just kind of embrace it, then the rest of the journey is fun and exciting. And that's why I love the word alternative hair, because you're right. It is an alternative. You don't have to wear a wig if you don't want to wear a wig, but you can. And when you do, it's a joyful experience.
Yes, indeed. And you know what the other thing is when you're getting into it, and you know this, I'm sure when you first started your whole journey, right, is what wig do I wear? What am I going to put on? What is going to make me feel like me? And that is one of the things you do really great, I think, is you change your color, you change your length, you just show everything. And at the end of the day, it's just, you can really, when I'm watching you, like, I'm just like, look, she looks great in everything. Everyone she puts on is unique and pretty in its own right. And so I think that's inspiring for people too, to not feel they also have to just find their own replacement style, that they can try something a little different.
Yeah, and I mean, we all have the power to present ourselves to the world however we want. And what matters at the end of the day is how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself, not about what everyone else thinks.
Yeah.
And even though we are scared of what everyone else thinks, truthfully, nobody cares about you. It's kind of a startling statement, but it's true. Everyone is so preoccupied in their lives that they don't care what your hair looks like.
Yeah.
They don't. And we're in our heads so often about how we are perceived in this world. And then you think about it and you're like, I am this teensy tiny little speck on Earth in this universe. And like, why am I so concerned? And then you think about it and you're like, I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
I know. See, Amanda, you've already made me feel like I shouldn't have bothered to put any concealer on for this video today. So
okay, I have a whole face of makeup on too. So.
But you know what? At the end of the day, we do it for ourselves, right? That's the thing. And you guys do for yourselves too. Do what makes you happy and do what makes you feel good. And I think that's the whole point.
It is. And I'm excited to show you guys some wigs that make me feel good.
Yes, we have 5 Raquel Welch wigs today that Amanda said, let's have a look, let's try them on. And we want to show them to you guys so you can get, a feel for some of these styles. And they're some of Amanda's favorites. So we wanted her to kind of present those to you, right?
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited.
Okay, I'm excited too. Perfect. Should we select one?
We shall.
Okay, so the first one we're going to look at, this one is called Simmer Elite. I don't know if you guys can see that. And we're showing Simmer Elite today, let me see, in the SS Cappuccino. This is the RL 1222 SS. Real quick about construction on it. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So we have an extended lace front, right? We have a full mono top on this. Sides and back are hand tied with some wefting in the back. And we have our velvet ear tabs and our velvet nape with the little Velcro adjusters in the back. Oh, I said it. I'm not supposed to say Velcro. I'm supposed to say hook and loop.
Oh, is that the thing?
Yeah, Velcro's trademarked apparently. So they're hook and loop adjusters. So whenever you guys hear us say that, just think Velcro.
It's news to me. Hook and loop.
So Amanda, I turn this over to you.
Amazing.
Give this one a look. So Selfie, I'm sorry.
What are we doing?
Simmer Elite we're doing. Simmer Elite is, we say, virtually hand tied because you do have wefting in the back, but it's a wavy kind of lob haircut with just some soft wave throughout it. And I did take some of these earlier, and what I did was I took them out of the box, gave them a shake. I kind of combed through them with my wide tooth comb, and that's basically what I did with these. We really didn't style these, right, Amanda?
No. You just took them out of the box and did a little pizzazz, and then here we are.
I love this because you do have the hand-tied top. And so for someone who wants a low-density appeal, this works really well. And then one of the things I like is you get a little fullness at the width. So if you like that, I think that's a nice compliment. What do you like about it? Because it's about what you were saying earlier, like about feeling comfortable. What do you like about it?
Yeah, something I love about Simmer Elite, not only the lower density. If you do want a little bit of a more voluminous look, there is the Simmer.
Yes.
That has a bit more volume. But what I love about this look in general is the length. This is like the perfect wig length, I find.
Yeah.
It's not so long that you're going to get all the tangles. It's not so short that, sometimes some people only like short styles and sometimes people really don't like it. This is a length that works for so many different people. And it's just an adorable style.
Yeah.
Is that an okay reason to love it?
Well, and I like the lace front. And I mean, again, it's an extended lace front. So you can see, you can really wear this and really get away with pulling it back. If you want to wear half up, half down, you can do that. I think this type of length, like a mid-length for me, is really nice because it's got some swing, it's got some movement, but you're not really bogged down by a lot of length. And so I think it's a fun wig to wear.
Yeah, it's
You
it's
know?
a great style for like a daily driver
Yeah.
because you aren't overwhelmed with hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the Simmer Elite. And as Amanda, I'm going to spin Amanda a little bit. As Amanda was saying, we have the regular Simmer, which has the wefted construction. So if that's something that appeals to you, it makes it a little bit more affordable on a price point standpoint to have the fully wefted.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like a lower density appeal to it, then I think that you really like the Elite. And I think the Elite's a bit more comfortable to wear too.
And I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
If you want that extra comfort factor, these caps are really lovely.
Yeah. And, I don't know, Amanda, we haven't talked about this. When you wear a wig, are you wearing it for part of the day? Are you wearing it for the majority of the day? How long do you actually keep it on when you're wearing one?
It's every day is a new day for me, to be honest. I usually wear it for the majority of the day. I would say, at least in my line of work, I'm switching wigs lickety split constantly. But if I have a day where, let's say, I'm not doing the whole wig thing for the day and I'm just living my life, I will wear it when I leave the house often.
Right.
I don't wear it at home as much. But then in the summertime, it's very 50-50. Sometimes I'll go without.
Yeah. Summertime is tough for wigs. It can be, yes.
Yeah.
So you guys, this is the Simmer Elite on Ms. Amanda. We're going to pull up that QR code for you. So when you see that QR code, it's going to flash across the screen. That will help you get any information you want on the wig. You can find out all the colors it's available in. You can find out basically, what else can you find out about it? Oh, the lengths, the dimensions, the cap construction. Drawing a blank here.
Yeah.
I'm so excited she's here.
I know.
So yeah, she'll find all that information. Just scan the QR code, and that will be it. So remember, you guys, you could win any of the wigs we're showing today, right? Just comment, ask questions, and then the winner will be posted on Wednesday. That is tomorrow on our Raquel Welch Wigs story. Okay. So keep that in mind. And the whole offer and the whole giveaway is open to U.S. residents 18 years old plus. Sorry, just U.S. residents right now. But which Miss Amanda's from Canada, so.
I feel like I'm not allowed to have this on my head.
You're perfectly allowed. You're perfectly allowed.
I'm allowed, okay.
All right, guys, Simmer Elite, we're going to pull out another one. Let's see what our next one is. Okay, our next one.
It's exciting.
Our next one is a new one. This is from our new collection. This is made with our Featherlight fiber, and this is made on our Sheerlux 2 cap. So what we did with this cap is, we originally came out with Sheerlux 1, and then we listened to everybody's feedback, and there was a lot of feedback. I love when you guys give me feedback. That is amazing and essential. And one of the things everybody was talking about was making a larger mono area here rather than just a mono part. So we opened up the mono area. We still have our borderless transition, which goes into the hand-tied portion of the wig. And then again, totally hand-tied with the exception of a few wefts in the back. And I always get questions about the wefts. Like everyone's always like, why didn't you just make it fully hand-tied? It's a personal taste, really, as a designer. Mm-hmm. I do feel that if you're combing and brushing the nape a lot, or if you're trying to remove tangles with any type of heat-friendly fiber, that a lot of times you need a little extra moxie in there because you're putting extra pressure on the back, and you could tear the hair out. When it's hand-tied, it's so delicate, and it's much easier to do that. And I don't really like the look of like a skimpy bottom.
Right. I always say it kind of adds like a little bit of extra structure to the cap.
Yes.
And then it even like drives the price point down just a smidge.
Yes.
Because it's not hand tied there. It's sewn by a machine into those rows.
100%. So. And we could have made it hand tied, but we didn't for that reason. You got silicone ear tabs, right? And a silicone nape. If you're living a more active lifestyle, I think this is really nice to have this option. Mm-hmm. And then we also made it, where it's hand stitched. So you can remove it if you want to, if you do want the velvet for the comfort, if you don't like silicone. So that's there. And of course, we've made this on our new Featherlight fiber, which is ultra light, heat stylable, true to life fiber, right?
So good.
So makes it very light and very comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this to you, Amanda, to work and whirl. One of the things, you guys, really be sure when you get these wigs, I really like to take a wide tooth comb and really work through it, okay? It's kind of like, it's got to breathe a little bit. It's been sitting in a box. It's been wrapped in tissue paper. It's had a hairnet on it to preserve the set. And you really got to work it out. In fact, I really think, I don't know how you feel about this, but I really think the more you wear a wig, the more it starts to like take shape and become what it's supposed to be.
It becomes you. Yeah. When you put a wig on right out of the box, I think so many people are expecting it to just instantly work.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily the case. I mean, on occasion it does work and you're like, wow, that was easy. But often it doesn't. And you have to give it some time to make it you. You have to give it time for the fibers to fall where they're meant to fall. By the way, this is like my favorite style lately.
Oh,
I am loving Showrunner.
Get out!
I'm loving it with a burning passion. I have it personally in shaded cappuccino.
Okay.
Actually, the color that we just
okay.
So this is really fun for me to try this in deepest ruby, right?
I know. This is the deepest ruby, correct. RL, what is it? RL 3335, the deepest ruby.
Such a fun color.
If you are a numbers and letters type of person. But yes, I just love this too. I mean, it's got a little glam to it. And what I did was I left a little bit of a bang here. Like Kyle calls it like my whisper bang, because I do like to leave it where you can wear it down or you could brush it into the wig and have it disappear. But you know, I do try to be conscious of the fact that not everybody's forehead falls in the same place. So if I do leave a little bit of a fringe in there and it seems a little bit long, I just want you guys to know, like, a lot of times that's so you can customize it and make it your own, and you have the length to play with. Because the worst thing is getting a wig with bangs and you can't find the sweet spot. So I know for some people, you know, it might be a little inconvenient, but that's kind of like why it's there.
Well, it allows more people the ability to work with it. Because if you just give it a bang, then people who maybe don't want that bang can't work with it, right? So,
yes, exactly. We got some questions. Joan Jewell says, are the closed wefts a little less noticeable than a normal wefted wig? The closed wefts, I think, kind of give you just a little bit of a covering. It was designed originally, the open wefted wigs, to let the wig be breathable, not your grandmother's wig cap, right? And now I kind of feel like we have materials that can cover it, that conceal an area of maybe that has some baldness or some thinning, but that it also is breathable. So that's why we've covered it a little bit. I just think it gives a nicer finish to the wig. That's my opinion from a design standpoint. I don't know how you feel about that, but
I find that let's say if like the wind blows in a funny way and it like reveals maybe some really strong wind, then the closed wefting does provide a little bit of coverage so that you're not going to see your scalp at least.
Right,
so that's definitely helpful.
And I think that then it makes you feel more confident in it too, because you know it's not going to be exposed from the back. Lori May, hi Lori May, she says, is iced cafe latte more brunette or blonde? Iced cafe latte is a little bit more on the blondish side, but it does have it has a nice chestnut base to it. So I kind of always think of that kind of like Jennifer Aniston's hair color in Friends. Like, it's brownish, but it's got the blonde in it too. It's got some pieces of it. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's because what is that? The 924 SS iced cafe latte. Yeah, it definitely has that nice brunette base, but with I think a good dusting of blonde over top, where it could almost venture into that blonde category.
Yes. Maria, hi Maria. She wants to know, are the ear tabs covered with silicone or plastic? Maria, they are silicone. Plastic is a little too hard and rigid. So we kind of, thank you very much, Amanda. You can see she demos a lot. Can you see that? So there they are.
Look like a little mouse with like ears.
Exactly. But yes, there they are. And you know, I always have to tell people this, make sure that they sit in front of your ears, not like, you know, behind them or on them. So
and the kind of the sweet spot, I always have people wondering, like, how is my wig supposed to fit? It really should be sitting just above your ear crease so that it's not like in your crease to make it uncomfortable. And it should be sitting just, hold on, let me try and show this better. Just in front, kind of like where sideburns would be. So it's not too far back. It's just in front and above your ear crease a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's just, I mean, important to know. You know, I have actually have like some customers who they feel they have large ears and they will intentionally pull the wig over their ears. And that always makes me nervous. I'm like, if a wind blows,
people are going to be like, what's wrong with their hair?
Yeah, it's been clocked. It's been clocked, and you don't want to be clocked. So yeah, so that's what the ear tabs are, and yes, they are silicone on the Sheerlux 2 and Sheerlux 1 cap. Keep that in mind too. And as I said before, they're easily removable with like a seam ripper or just a pair of like sewing shears. So if you want to take those off, you can.
Yeah, and I will say, I'm a petite size.
Yeah, talk about that, Amanda.
Yeah, so I am someone who I will wear a wig no matter what size it is.
You'll make it work if you want it to work.
If I like the style, I will make it work. However, with these caps, they do fit me a little bit on the large side. I find they are average to maybe a touch bigger than average. So they are a bit big on me. However, that all being said, for me, I find the silicone on this super beneficial because it allows me to like pull it down as much as I can, and then I like push the silicone in, and then at my nape, I pull it back as much as I can so that it's not as bulky. And then the silicone really grips to sort of the back of my neck there, and it really helps it fit me even better. So I love the silicone.
Well, it's funny you say that, Amanda, too, because I've had the opportunity to sit in a few of our Harry We're on the Road classes where we do education, right? And one of the things we teach on the second day is how to customize a wig. And so we talk about stitching the wefts, and that was another reason for leaving the wefts in the back here, because you can stitch them a little bit if you want to, like, cramp them down a little bit.
It's easier to make the cap smaller as opposed to if it were just fully hand tied.
Exactly. So perfect. Anyway, we're going to show you this QR code. Again, this is Showrunner. I do think this looks beautiful on you.
Thank you. It's perfect length. The volume, it's a natural volume. You don't get permatease in here, so it's not going to have like poofy volume. It's just natural volume, and it's the way that like flips and turns. I love it.
Well, Amanda, I do watch you quite often. And it seems to me, so I want to get this out because I want to know the deal now that I got you here. Yeah. I feel like you tend to lean towards super low density wigs. Is that true?
Typically, however, the odd time I will find a higher density wig and I'm like, oh, maybe I love higher density. I don't know. But I do usually lean towards lower density.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people are going that direction now too. For me, it's you got to find the sweet spot. Of course, we have, I don't know how many wigs we have in the Raquel Welch collection. There's something for everybody, trust me. But it's a balance, right? Because you are a very slender frame. And so for you to have a big mass of hair really doesn't make much sense, right? It just looks like all hair.
Just takes over.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, if you're like maybe a taller woman, a broader woman, sometimes you need that. Like a too low a density might not look like enough hair for you. Yeah. So it's really important, I think, that you just kind of like know who you are and kind of just think about yourself in the full silhouette, and then kind of let that guide you a little bit. And I think usually how people would wear their bio hair is kind of a good guide of where they need to go.
Yeah, it's definitely a good spot to start at. Yeah. And then like teeter each way to see. It's a bit of trial and error too. Yeah. And as you become a more seasoned wig wearer, you just kind of find that sweet spot.
Yeah. Fab. All right. Showrunner. I don't want to take it off because it looks so good.
I don't want to take it off. It's amazing. I love it.
Oh, you guys, I got to tell you too. This one is the burgundy. This is the deepest ruby. So that's what Amanda's wearing today. Yeah. What does Michelle say? She says, "Does silicone work if you have some bio hair?" It does work if you have some bio hair. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. All right. What's our next one? Okay, we're getting into a longer one now, and this one's got some life to her. This girl's got some joy, as Kyle would say. She's got some joy. So we are now looking at the Selfie mode. Been a very, very popular wig in the Raquel collection. I think it's because of the curl pattern and just the overall look of it. This one has some bells and whistles in it, and its construction is really unique as well. So very different than the Featherlight and very different than the Sheerlux 2 cap. This one has our Memory Cap 3, which has silicone along the lace material in the back. Okay, so this gives you some extra adhesion. This gives you some extra support, and it's very good if you're an active person. You have an extended ear-to-ear lace on this, as well as a mono top. And then, of course, the wefting in the back, velvet ear tabs, and velvet nape. Amanda, I'm going to let you do the honors of this one.
Thanks.
And selfie mode today, we're showing in the RL 1422 SS. This is our Raquel Welch shaded wheat.
Love shaded wheat.
I do too. I
Yes.
do too. And I think, I don't know what it is, but I think maybe people, I think it's going to be too dark, but it does have some vibrance to it.
It does. I feel like it's a really great mix of warm and a little bit of cool in there. And it's a nice, like, medium dimensional. It's just really beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, you know, a lot of people tend to go to the 1923 SS a lot.
Everyone's all about the shaded biscuit.
Yeah, it's a very popular color, but I think sometimes this color gets lost in the when you're comparing it to the shaded biscuit. This one to me has a little bit more richness to it. It's got a little bit more, I don't know, it looks less bleached.
Yeah.
But it's still blonde to me. So it's one of my favorite colors. I guess that's why I'm going on and on about it.
On and on. It's one of my favorite blondes too. We can just go on and on about shaded all day.
Right? So Amanda, I'm gonna have you do a little spin. Tell me what you think about this one.
You know what? This one is like one of those dream hair material things. You're gonna get volume. You are gonna get pizzazz. You are gonna get like oomph with this style.
Yeah.
This wave pattern is everything. And you are gonna find a bit of permatease in the root here. So you are gonna get that volume. This is like a going out wig. I would like wear this out for dinner or like out for a fun night and just feel fantastic.
Yeah, and I think that's really a good point, because that's when I'm thinking about styles that I think people will be wearing, or you know how I think it works is, you know, if you're running around during the day, super low density, super like kind of neat, really, you know, no fuss wig for during the day. But then, you know, just like when you have like a formal event to go to, you spend a little more time blowing out your hair. You try to get a little more volume. You try to get a little more, you know, glam into it. Then this is like where you switch into for like the evening hair, you know.
Yeah.
So
you want that body and that volume. And you just want to feel a little bit extra.
Extra, that's it. That's the word, is extra.
Yeah. That's what selfie mode is. And then you go around taking selfies.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, like I come from, you know, a hairdresser background, right?
Yeah.
And I also, having worked with Raquel on the collection for so long, and Raquel was a glamour gal. Okay, there's you know, the lashes, the lips, the whole thing. I mean, she was a glamour gal. And so a lot of the looks we have created were inspired by that kind of finished, done, going out kind of look.
Right.
And you know, selfie mode is kind of inspired by that. And there is a nice aspect to now kind of doing some lower density looks too. So it kind of rounds out the collection. And I'm loving some of those styles too, which can be elegant, simple, and classic, and just make you just feel comfortable in your own skin wearing them. Because this is, like you were saying, like you're feeling like you're somewhere with this.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You have to go somewhere when you're wearing this. You can't just go to the grocery store.
Right? It's just this with like, you got to put mascara on with this and a little gloss. Like this is not like, you know, scrubbed face. You know what I mean?
I mean, you do you if you want.
Like, of course. But like in my mind, like that's what I'm imagining. Someone who wants to just kind of like doll it up a little bit. So, and I guess a lot of people do too, because selfie mode has been just a great style for us, you know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a top seller.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys, we're going to run the QR code for selfie mode, and you guys will be able to scan that. You'll be able to get the links on it. You'll be able to get to see the colors that it's available in, and also view how the cap is constructed if you need a reminder after us showing it to you today. And don't forget, just comment and enter your questions, and you will automatically be entered to win our giveaway, which is any of the wigs that you see here today. And I don't know. What do you pick? I mean, you'll get to pick style and color, so it's all up to you. So
that's a good giveaway.
I think it's not too bad, right? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, so you guys, we're going to move on. The next wig we're going to look at is a new one that's been launched in the Featherlight Collection too. It's called Straight to Camera.
Another one that has like skyrocketed up to my favorites.
Has it?
Yes. Well, I mean, all of these are, but like this one also.
Like it gets a little more play.
Like maybe just like a little bit. Yeah. I actually wore this style on the plane as I was traveling here, and I had somebody comment on my hair.
Get out, really?
Yes, I will not get out. It's true. It happened. I was eating dinner. I actually put this in like a half up, half down little cutesy little ponytail.
Yeah.
I was just eating my dinner at the airport, and the server comes up to me and is just like, "I love your hair," and I said,
Oh my
"Thank you."
gosh.
That was the interaction. It was enough special.
Yeah,
She commented.
yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I love when that happens, and I mean, isn't that like the greatest compliment when you're wearing a wig and someone just says, "I love your hair," because that's all they're seeing. That's it. They're seeing you.
And like the confidence it gives you. I mean, so
Yes.
many of you women, I hear stories all the time of women being like, "Oh my gosh, someone complimented my hair for the first time in my life." And it makes you instantly feel, like you said, like you're being seen, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. And your confidence just like zoom, just skyrockets. So
'Cause-
that's the amazing thing about wigs, your confidence.
Yeah, because usually you're just thinking people are looking at you for the wrong reasons, like you're obvious or something like that.
Yeah.
But so it's such a nice compliment to hear someone say they love your hair.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and no one ever guesses that it's a wig because that's not on anybody's radar. No one walks around with their wig radar on trying to scope out wigs. It's just not in their
I do, Amanda. I do. I go. I do.
Maybe you and I do.
Oh yeah, we're looking around. Who's wearing? I'm like, who's wearing our design? Who's wearing it? But no, exactly. Most people are not looking for that. They're not looking for that. Like you said earlier, they're like into themselves. They're like worrying about what they're doing and where they're going and what they have planned. So that's true. You know, it's funny because my sister has always had very thick hair. Mm-hmm. She recently had gone through chemotherapy and radiation, and she lost all her hair in the process. And of course, you know, I got her into wigs and all of that, but she had never considered a wig before. And her hair now, she's done her treatments, her hair's starting to grow back. It's a different texture. It's a different everything. And she's actually said, she goes, you know what? I got so many compliments when I was wearing my wigs that she was just like, I'm going to keep them. I'm still going to wear them. When I don't feel like doing my hair, I'm going to wear them. Yes. And I'm like, oh, I was waiting for that moment. I was waiting for that moment.
There are so many women I hear that story of where they just keep on going with the wigs, even though their hair is, you know, coming back. But also, like, how lucky is your sister to have you as her brother?
I guess.
Swooping in with being the wig man.
I guess it helps. It does help. It does. So yeah, I'm happy to hear that because, you know, she was all concerned about it and what am I going to do and what is this going to feel like, and that she's gotten so comfortable with it that she really sees the value in having it as an option. So yeah. I'm liking. So anyway, kids, straight to camera, as Amanda was saying, one of her favorites, which we're showing here today. Same construction as earlier we showed you. So this is going to have an extended ear-to-ear lace front. You're going to have a wider mono part compared to the Sherlock's one cap. And then you get into hand-tied sides and back with some wefting right in the nape area. And you have silicone ear tabs and nape, which are removable. And this one, you know, I debated putting this in the collection, Amanda, so I'm so glad you like it, because I was like, is it just like too much of a non-style, or is it too simple, or is it not enough? And I mean, I think what I love about it and why I ultimately decided to release it is its simplicity.
Yeah.
You know
what? And obviously I'm out there making videos all the time showing styles, and this one always gets attention. It's always, people are always like, what wig is that? What wig are you wearing? What wig is that? What wig is that? And I'm like, straight to camera. It's straight to camera. It's straight to camera.
Right.
It's constantly getting the attention that it deserves because it's amazing. And with these feather light fibers, it just feels so light and fluffy.
Yeah.
And like with this style, with this curve inwards, it feels light and fluffy. It looks light and fluffy, and it just looks like healthy, voluminous hair.
Yeah, healthy bio hair, right? Yeah. You know, in a synthetic, if you can imagine. You know, one of the things that is like really, was really important to me too with this collection is because when we were trying out different blends of feather light, right? There were some different, you know, ways we could go about it and how to make it and how to construct it. And one of the things that was like really important to me was that it was heat stylable. That was really important.
Yeah.
And that we tested out long enough. The fiber had been introduced. We had been playing with it. We had been kind of like experimenting with it, but I really didn't want to come out with it until it was right. Mm-hmm. And I think we've really found that blend. And the whole idea for feather light fiber and this particular Sherlock Stu cap was to really think about the person who's wearing wigs every day, so that it would feel lighter and so it would feel comfortable. And I think that it works. And I think in straight to camera, if you are a bob wearer, I think this really is a nice, sweet, comfortable style to wear.
It is sweet. I think sweet is the perfect word. Like, it is sweet.
Yeah, yeah. And you still feel like, I don't know, like little high fashion with it too, you know?
Yeah. And the bang, like we were talking about, it's long enough that you can bring it to the side if you want.
Yeah.
Or you can do that side swept look.
Yes.
But you could also bring it straight forward. You could walk around like this if you want.
If you want, yes.
I don't recommend. You could cut it, trim it. So the world is your oyster these days.
It's really funny when we did the photo shoot for this style.
Yeah.
One of the things I don't do with the photo shoot is I don't manipulate the wig, in the sense that I really don't like to heat style it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cut the bangs in. And so I had this on the model and I had kind of like swept it over.
Right.
She just kept messing with it and messing. I'm like, stop playing with the bangs. So I'm like, I can't cut it, because I want people to really
You want them
see,
to know.
Yeah, and I want them to know when they're looking at any of the images they create or any of the photos that we take, that I really am working with the wig.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's been styled, yes, but it hasn't been cut. I haven't really used any heat styling tools on it or anything like that. I've worked with it the way it comes out of the box. And to me, that's like kind of a little bit of an integrity thing, because I don't want to mislead anybody.
Right.
So that's really important. And
well, and it shows everyone what that wig is capable of doing.
Yes.
Too.
Yes. Yeah. So, and I could style this a million different ways. I could take heat to this and, as you know, like blow the front away and just totally open that up. But, we try to do what we can to make it as realistic as possible, because I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're being duped. Like, oh, they totally manipulated that and that's not the wig that I got. And, and as you know, you probably get a lot of comments from people saying it's not quite out of the box as I got it. So I've seen some of your stuff where you do like, here's how it was photographed, here's how it comes out of the box.
Right.
And there is a difference, because like we were saying, you got to run your hands through it. You got to comb it. I missed everything with water. Everything starts out with water and then we build on it.
Yeah. Water is my best friend too. I prefer water over product. Usually. Yeah.
Especially from the get-go, right? Because sometimes if you just work it with the heat from your hands and a little bit of water, you might not even need to put product in it,
Exactly.
And then you don't have to shampoo it as much and do all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys, we also have Amanda. This is the RL 2933. This is the shaded iced pumpkin spice. I'm going to turn to the side a little bit. And, I just love this little bit of angle right into the front too. I think that gives it a little bit of more like kind of like a more designery, like hairstylist kind of thing.
It is like just a tit shorter in the back than it is in the front. So
yeah.
Not by much though.
So, and then we have rooted the iced pumpkin spice. I've heard some people say they would like an unrooted version. So I don't know. I'm thinking about that. We'll see. What are your thoughts, guys? Let us know.
This is one of my favorite colors, though. It's fantastic.
I gotta tell you can I tell you the story about iced pumpkin spice?
Please.
So when I was in the salon, I had a dear client of mine. Her name was Marsha, and Marsha came in the salon and she'd be like, I want my hair to look like a copper penny. And so I'm like, okay, how do we do that, right? Yeah. So she wanted like a brownish kind of copper that wasn't too flaming red, right? So I went through and then I highlighted it with like a papaya toner. And so it kind of gave it this kind of like nice, rich copper, almost like a natural redhead, but with a little bit of spice to it. And so when I came here and we started working with the Raquel Welch collection, I'm like, I'm going to make Marsha's red. And Marsha's red is now iced pumpkin spice for all of you to enjoy. So
you should have called it Marsha's red.
I should have called it Marsha Red, right? It would have been a great tribute to her.
People would be like, who's Marsha?
Yeah, exactly, right? But that's kind of like what I love to do is I love to bring things maybe that you would get in a salon, or cuts you would get in a salon, or shapes and looks, and bring that to wigs, and bring that to like everybody who is looking at a wig, because you can have a salon look. And that was what always inspired me about this end of the business, was trying to make it look like you've just stepped out of a salon and not out of a wig shop,
And the great thing about synthetic wigs is that you get this vibrancy in the color, and it stays, and it's not going to fade like it would in human hair. And it is just a little bit different. So you can have that salon look, that fresh salon, vibrant coloring that will last you.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
so
true.
much fun.
It's true. And you don't have to do it every 3 or 4 weeks
Exactly.
and pay a fortune for it on top of
Right?
it,
And
you know?
that's the thing, like you pay money to go to a salon to get your hair done and get your hair colored and cut and all the things, or you just get a wig.
Yeah.
How are you going to spend your money? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know, even for people who have lost hair, who've gone through any kind of treatment or maybe hormone therapy, and their own bio hair is growing in, maybe there's an advantage to keeping your own bio hair a short cut.
Yeah.
And then when you want the long hair, you just put on the long hair. You know what I mean? And you don't have to color your own bio hair anymore. You don't have to like grow it out and wait for that process. Maybe there's an advantage to some of you out there to doing that, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you just want to keep your own bio hair healthy
Yes.
and good.
Yes. But you want, vibrant long red hair at some point, so you do that.
Exactly.
Love having options. Love having options. Janice says, can she see the back, please? Sure, Janice. I'm going to spin Amanda around. We got her in a little salon chair today. I'm going to spin her around. Can you see the back? So you have this beautiful kind of like beveled bob shape, which comes to just to the back of the neck, like right before it kind of goes into the shoulders. And then, of course, it just kind of angles forward a little bit to give it like a little bit more of an edgier look. So, yeah, I kind of like this style. It's very like posh, I think, you know.
And someone's asking, is it easy to move the part more to one side? And I mean, this is a heat stylable fiber. So anything is possible with heat stylable fibers. You definitely can, but you may need some heat in order to help it go. Because initially it might not quite want to go.
Right. And that's usually like what I'll recommend is like take a tail comb, right? And then get the part set where you want it. And really, because I think, we say it's heat stylable fiber, and I don't think it ever really sinks in. But, all you have to do is mist this area right here, hit it with the blow dryer right at the root area, and you're going to lock that part in there. So that is the beauty of heat stylable fiber. And I think we talk about it, and I don't think people really process what that means. Even like if you want to like round brush the bang and give it a little kick and like make it come a little fuller. I mean, you can do that with the round brush and a little bit of water. I mean, we have setting sprays. We have all kinds of different products in our arsenal that we can use. But really, take it to a hairdresser if you're unsure, because we don't want you to mess it up. Because one thing it doesn't do, it does everything bio hair does except grow back. So you don't want that to happen. So if you have to go to a professional, go to a professional. That's good. So you guys, again, we're going to run the QR code for you if you want to get information on Straight to Camera, part of the new Featherlight collection. And this is shown in the iced pumpkin spice. We like ye.
Me too.
Every one of these, I think, are slam dunks on you, Amanda. No wonder you requested these, because every time I put one on you, I don't want to go to the next one because I'm afraid I'm not going to like as much as this one.
Well, I've been wearing wigs now since 2011.
Yeah.
What year is it? 14.
Yeah.
14 years.
Yeah.
And it still boggles my mind every single time I put on a wig how it changes you completely.
Yeah.
It like gives you a whole new personality. And to me, that is the fun in wig wearing. You get to choose who you want to be for the day. And it's someone new every day, yet it's still you. And it's one of my favorite parts.
It's great. I mean, from that aspect, I totally appreciate it. And I get a little jealous sometimes because all of our Raquel wigs are average size. Well, not all of them, but a lot of the ones you're seeing today are average size. And our men's wigs, we have a line of men's wigs, and like my head is too big for them. I'm like an extra large head size. So I can get them on my head, but they kind of like ride up, and you know what that's like when it's too big. So I got to make some extra large wig sizes for our men's collection so I can wear them.
So you can wear them.
Because sometimes I want to be blonde, and I want to be Keith Urban, and I want to be like, a rock star. I mean,
Yeah,
so,
I know. Yeah.
So anyway, so we'll get to that. That's one of my later projects.
Amongst the million others.
Amongst a million other things to do. All right, guys. So we're going to show you. Okay, we'll leave it on our final one. So this next one, if you like long, luxurious, drama, I don't know, runway hair, this is the one for you.
It is the one for you.
And given all the hair, I think, Amanda, you might agree that this is still pretty light for as much length that there is in this.
It is, and that's what I love about this one that we're going to show is that it's not that it's a light density. Like there's a good amount of hair on it, but it feels light.
Yeah, for sure. And this is the same construction as the straight to camera because this is part of the Sheerlux 2 Featherlight collection. So you're going to get that lightweight fiber in here. Again, the ear-to-ear extended lace front. You have the mono top, hand-tied sides and back with wefting in the nape area. And then you have silicone ear tabs and nape for added security. And I've said before, if you guys are just joining us, the silicone ear tabs and nape can be removed. They're hand stitched. They're not glued and pressed on there. So that's to your liking.
Yeah.
So,
and this is feature length, by the way. I don't know if it said it.
Yeah, feature length. And this is the Rusty Auburn. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to compare for you. Amanda, you get that on, and I'll show you. You can see the Ice Pumpkin Spice versus the Rusty Auburn. The Rusty Auburn is going to have more golden amber highlights in there. And it might be just a little bit warmer. So think of the Ice Pumpkin Spice as a more natural overall color. And you can see, like, even just with the man, like, there's a little more depth in the Rusty Auburn. So,
and I find Ice Pumpkin Spice is almost a little bit more vibrant in color. Rusty Auburn is a little bit more muted in a way. It's like they're the same family.
Yeah.
They're like cousins.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, and then the Rusty Auburn isn't rooted, whereas Ice Pumpkin Spice is rooted.
Yes, and this, by the way, the Rusty Auburn was a very, very big favorite of Raquel. Raquel wore this a lot.
Oh, her and I have something in common because I love Rusty Auburn.
Well, you've said before, it's funny because I feel like I see you a lot of times in blonde wigs, but you said you're naturally dark.
I am naturally like a 6.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like a medium to dark brown naturally.
Yeah.
And then, the wigs jumped upon me in my life, and suddenly I loved wearing rooted blondes. But then in the last couple of years, I've really dived into these like auburn reddish tones.
Yeah.
And I love them.
But these suit you really well too, because I think you have the depth of the color. So it's would be kind of like your bio hair would have been, right? I mean, as far as depth goes.
Yeah.
But then you get the highlights in there, and I don't know. I think this looks really good on you too. I mean, you can wear a lot of different ones, Amanda. That's for sure. How are you with product? Do you put a lot of product in your wigs?
I don't. I honestly tend to stay away from product. Like I said, I love using water to style and heat, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, look, I'm a product junkie. I could not get my hair to stick like this if I didn't work. So I'm a product junkie. The problem is, of course, you can use all kinds of, products for wigs, on your wigs. But the thing is, you're going to find you have to shampoo them a little bit more frequently.
And that's my thing. Like the buildup. There becomes a buildup. And then, you got to wash it more.
Yeah, which is a bit of a pain,
Can be.
Oh, so that's why you got to have a backup. If you have a backup, it's not so bad.
No. I tend to have like my big wig washing days where I take like 10 of them and I just go to town on washing them, and then I wait another few months before I do it again.
Yeah, because it's time consuming, But it is nice though. I think it's always so nice when you do shampoo your wig and you've shampooed it with a shampoo that you really like, and it smells the way you want it to smell, and that that there's something fresh and exciting about that.
It's like it's been reborn.
Yes.
Just give it a nice bath.
I know. So you guys, you can see feature length on Amanda. This is a long one. Look at where it lays on Amanda. I don't think we got you in the full shot.
Whoa.
Look at that. Oh
dear.
But this to me was just like some long layers. I just wanted a soft wave in here, and I just wanted to feel like you had the most luxurious blow dry trim, and you just come out of the salon and you just feel like a Kardashian.
Yes.
Better than, because not to say anything bad. I don't know if you're watching, Kim, but sometimes the hair looks a little damaged and dry, from all that abuse. So the benefit of a wig is you're not going to destroy your own hair. So sometimes a nice option. But look at I'm going to turn Amanda around for this one, just so you guys can see. Just look at this beautiful layering. There's so much going on in here. You get like just some nice movement. And again, because of the featherlight fiber, it doesn't feel like you're wearing like a ton of hair on your head. So if you're a long style person and you like long hair, I really think you can feel comfortable wearing this all day. Although I'm going to tell you, because of the length, you might want to tie it up or put it half up during the day and then release it when you really want to wear it down, because This fiber it has a tendency, like all long wigs, to get everywhere, you know? So, I mean.
I know. My son likes to play soccer. And so sometimes I'll still have my wigs on and we'll go in the backyard and play soccer. And then I'm just like, I can't see anything. Right? And then I just take my hair off and I'm like, this is fantastic. Wigs are fantastic because if this hair was growing out of my head, I would still be like,
yeah.
Whereas now I can just take it off my head.
Exactly. And you can brush it really quick and then just pop it back on how you need to, you know? That's why, like, one of the things I can say, like, almost all the time when I'm working with long hair wigs, I do use hairspray here in the hairline to keep it away. I use a firm hold hairspray so that it's not constantly falling down, you know? Right. And so you can just, you know, target certain areas where you just want to put a little bit of product in there to keep it off your face, because it can sometimes feel like, you know, overwhelming. Although I will say this, that, you know, the people I know who like long hair, they don't find it overwhelming at all. If it could be down to the floor, they will deal with it. So, and there's people like that, you know. Jenny Duke, hello Jenny, thank you for watching. She asks, can you wear it up? And yes, you could wear this up. And I would even suggest, I'm gonna spin you around again, Amanda. Let me turn you this way. I would even suggest, you know, you could, which way is this? I don't know, which way are we going? This way?
We're kind of backwards.
We're kind of backwards. We're trying to figure this out all day. But you could even put this like definitely in a ponytail, a low ponytail, you know, side pony.
Oh, that's pretty.
And, you know, just kind of wear it like to one side to contain it a little bit. Definitely, I didn't bring a claw clamp, but you could definitely, you know, clip this up and just kind of keep it off of your head if you want to, or your neck if you want to.
Keep it off your head.
Keep it off your head. That's only when you shampoo it. But no, yes, you can definitely wear this up. And one of the nice things about it is because we did on this style also do the extended lace front, right? So you can wear it up with some confidence. So you really have that nice detail along the side of your head, so you can whisk it away.
And one thing I love extra about Rusty Auburn is I find the hairline on this color is like one of the most natural colors for the lace fronts. I just love it.
Yes, and that's one of the things we get too from people. People like the shaded biscuit, but sometimes feel the highlight is too white in the front.
Yeah, a little bit too stark.
Yeah, too much. And if you have any kind of like depth to your skin, it can be. Again, like we were talking about the bangs, one of the things, like the reasons why I haven't really altered that too much is because I always feel like you could put a little shadow or you could put a little foundation on it to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, there's ways to fix it.
Yeah, so I'd rather someone be able to do that rather than try to lighten it up, because there's no way to lighten it up. We can make it a little darker, but we can't lighten it up. And sometimes I'll do that on a photo shoot too. Sometimes I will take a little like face powder or foundation and just try to blend that out, just smudge it into the root area a little bit, and it kind of works its way out a little bit. So, but yes, this one is, because the highlight isn't so dramatically different. It really is a nice soft blend.
It is, and it's not so dark that the knots are more visible. It's a nice kind of happy medium so that the knots are very natural and not so, like I said, so visible.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too is, you know, if you are a person who you want to wear your hair away from your face, you want to look for that. You want to make sure that you kind of blend that in a little bit. You know, I've seen a lot of wigs, and I'm going to ask your opinion about this, that have the lace that comes all the way around the ear tab and extends beyond it. What are your thoughts about that?
You know what, for me personally, I'm like, when you have that would be if you're going to like pull your hair back and like get it out like behind your ears. I'm personally not like a full-on ear tucker, and I'm not a full-on like puller backer. So to me, it's not necessary.
Right.
It's nice for a lot of people, but it's not necessary for me. And I find when you have that, as soon as you pull it back, it's lifting. The lace is lifting. So then you have to, you know, intervene and like help stick it down. So it does have its benefits, but for me personally, I don't need it.
Yeah. We try to make almost all the wigs in the Raquel collection glueless, so you don't have to glue them, unless you're getting into a more like, maybe we're getting into a human hair collection it's going to be bonded or something like that. You know, obviously, I think like lace is really important, that extends sometimes. This was always my feeling, but sometimes you do have to glue it a little bit. So, you know, if you don't want to glue it, then this is maybe the way to go. You know, so there's so many options out there, but if you are looking for a long hair option that is light, breathable, and wearable, I think the feature length, I don't think you'll be disappointed with feature length.
I don't think so either.
So
Yeah,
you don't think
this
so
is
either.
like my favorite long style out there.
Oh, so this is really interesting. Leslie asks, hi Leslie, she says, has anyone ever discussed comfort around the hairline if you have a scar?
I mean, I can't personally speak to that.
Yeah.
I know that the lace can be irritating for women who have a sensitive scalp. So if you have a scar there, it might be a bit sensitive. But also, I know scars sometimes lose their feeling.
Yes, they can.
So it really depends, I think.
Yeah.
You might not even notice that the lace is there.
Yes. There is, one of the things I tell people is there is a prosthetic glue that is available for anyone who is using any kind of like prosthesis on their body. And it's basically like a little bit of an adhesive. And what you do, what I have done in the past for someone who's found it to be very uncomfortable, a lace front, is to just brush that on or roll it on. It comes on a little roller. You roll it on the underside of the lace, right about here. So you would roll it on right along the base and let it dry before you do anything with it. And that will sometimes soften the feel of the lace on there. It kind of puts like a little almost coating over it. So if you have a scar or you're dealing with something like that, try something like that. Sometimes even, believe it or not, a little bit of talc can really help the area too, or keep it feeling a little softer. So just a little tip there. What else do we got? Lisa DiLorenzo. She says, who needs a wingman when you have a wig man?
I think that was in regards to your
I think it was in regards to my sister. Yeah.
You were the wingman. Yeah.
I'm gonna have you talk to her because it's never enough. You know how siblings are. It's never. I can never do enough. So.
Oh my God.
But yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. Thank you for saying that. So you guys, these are our 5 wigs today. We looked at, let's see, with Simmer Elite, Showrunner, Selfie Mode. We did straight to camera, and what we ended up with is feature length. And I mean, I've loved them all. I've loved them all.
Yeah, it's hard to rank them.
Yeah.
They're all up there.
And I'm glad you love them all, Amanda, too. I'm glad.
I do. I don't know where you come up with these. Like, what is your process when you're kind of figuring out what the styles need to be?
Yeah.
How do you figure it all out?
Well, it's really interesting. The first place I go to is our existing collection. And I say, like, what do we have in our existing collection, right? And what don't we have, you know? Also, I'll look at, like, you'll see, like, sometimes a lot of bobs, right? Well, there's all different constructions on them. So we want to keep a bob that, you know, maybe someone's looking for a bob in this price point. Someone's looking for an extra feature, so here. So we look at our construction and we see what's available construction-wise to that person who wants a particular look. Ultimately, the inspiration comes from my travels. I go to Europe a lot. I do watch what models are doing. I watch what celebrities are doing. I watch every single housewives of whatever city we're in to see what they're doing. And likewise, there's also a lot of those shows abroad. So you can get a lot of those shows abroad. And I just kind of look at what's trending and then just kind of see where that takes me. And that's really, really an inspiration, is what I see out there. And I just put it all together and then it's one big bunch. And then that's where we land, you know. But there's a lot of styles I'm working on that I'm like, does it come out? Does it not come out? Is it too advanced? And because we do things in advance, you have to think, is this going to be popular and trending when we launch it?
Right,
so,
you have to have that foresight.
Yeah, so I'm kind of always looking, to be honest with you, like 2 or 3 years ahead of what's coming for fashion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Huh.
So
you're like the wig fortune teller.
Yeah, of sorts, exactly. But even colors are like that. You know, what could be trending today might not be trending 2 years from now, you know. So, you know, ombres have always been really big. The balayage are really big. Where is the trend going? Like we're keeping an eye on the pulse and seeing where it's going next, so that we're able to catch that in time. So
yeah, what a fun job you have.
And you know what? It is fun. But the best inspiration, like the best stuff, is coming from shows we do like this, things that you hear from, you know, people that you're working with, people that are actually wearing the product. That is so important. So we get a lot of information just by talking to people who are wig wearers and letting us know what it is they're looking for and how we can make our product better. That's number one, is making it, again, we were talking about this earlier, more comfortable, more believable, and just overall more unclockable.
That's what we all want, right? Like, we don't want to walk around with that big sign on our head saying, I'm wearing a wig.
Exactly.
Right? We want it to be undetectable.
Yep.
And just blend in with the rest of the world.
Yeah, and I think we've come a long way. I think there's more to go, but now we just got to hope that technology keeps up with what we want to create. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
It's not like IT. There aren't a whole bunch of people saying, "What can we do next for the wig world?" So we got to drum that up. That's our job to do that. And so hopefully we get there.
Yeah, one day.
Yes. Well, Amanda, I don't know. I cannot thank you enough. I can't thank all of you enough for watching today. Hope you got something out of our show. Hope you learned something, and I hope you enter to win, because we're going to be announcing that winner tomorrow on Wednesday, and that's going to be on our Raquel Welch stories. So keep your eye out for that.
Good luck, you guys.
Yeah, we'll announce the winner. So we'll see who gets what they want. All right, guys, thank you so much. And thank you, Amanda, so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
It has been on my part, too. So this has been so much fun. And thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely.